So as you remember from before, we saw that exact same startup. Um, and really, it's all it takes to get this guy going. It's just launching the jar. And I'll build a shortcut on my desktop, but what we want to do here is just kind of a reality check. Once we bring iAccess up, we'll have a chance to go ahead and take a look to make sure that the tools menu has exactly what we want. We probably have, is there a prompt find here? Not yet. See what it ends up doing here. It's taken a while, a lot longer than I expected. Uh, as it does this installation. It's working. We hope. Okie dokie. So here we go. All of the same settings as before. Let's see what we got on tools. Look at that. We got open source package management sitting right there. So really not much to the update or upgrade step. Basically, the unzip gives you everything you need, and just double click in the jar file launches the Java virtual machine that hosts it. So it's a pretty straightforward step. So let's jump back to our instructions again. So I'm going to try to back up here. Okay, so we got back to our getting started with the open source package manager. Again, we've got the latest iAccess installed, our IBM, keep calling it iAccess, iAccess Client Solutions, ACS. And we got that guy installed. And so let's continue with our installation now of the open source products. And of course, it says here that all we have to do is go back to our ACS tools and click on the open source package management. But you'll notice here it also says it's going to be prompted to connect using Secure Shell SSH. And again, if you've, like me, brand new IBMi Power 9, I hope you got a brand new Power 9 like mine. So we need to do a quick smoke test to make sure that we can shell into our IBMi. And of course, again, if you're using or looking to use the open source tools on IBMi, you're going to spend a lot of time in the shell probably. So let's just do a quick smoke test. Let's make sure we got this guy running. I use PuTTY for signing in with Secure Shell. As you can see, I got a boatload of different profiles here. I know it's this one. That's my internal address for my IBMi. And so let's just go ahead and open up that secure SSH session, see what's going on. Okay, so we immediately get, oh man, there's no connection, or the connection was refused. We need to make sure that we have secure shell SSH running on IBMi. So let's go ahead and close out of that. Let's jump down and let's go ahead and pop open the 5250 world. And I'm going to sign in. I love this box. And we need to do a start TCP server because that's where SSH lives. If we prompt for that, you can see we can start up all sorts of server applications here. We're actually looking for a secure shell. And so, sure enough, there he is. So we're just going to go ahead and start this guy, SSHD, get the shell daemon running here. To just start the server instance, the default instance, and it tells me that secure shell is running, SSHD server is running. So let's jump back, and I'm going to do another smoke test using PuTTY. Okay, so there's a key negotiation that occurs. This is not, this is just to validate the trusting of the host. There is also some other things that we can do to not have to sign in with a user ID and password, but we're not going to go there right now. So we're going to say, yes, we do want to connect. And then I need to use my credentials on IBMi. Okay, this is not separate from IBMi. I'm literally, it's going to use the same credentials I have on IBMi to sign in. And of course, there's no home directory yet. We'll probably set that guy up. So this is just reality. Okay, we're just making sure that we have a good secure shell connection. It's going to start, and so I'm just going to exit out of this now. We're going to go back to ACS land here, and we're going to go back to our tools, and we are going to do open source package management. Now, once again, we're being prompted to sign in using SSH. That's cool. And so we're just going to go ahead and put in our credentials. And if we wanted to at this point in time, we haven't talked about your root yet, but and there's plenty of links about it, but you can actually have multiple installations of your open source tools folders that are specific to individuals if you wanted to, so that it separates those environments so that you can have different, basically different versions of the tools running and environments running at the same time, and it's secure. But for right now, we're just going to go ahead and just key option, and we're going to sign in. And yes, of course, I want to install that environment. That's why I clicked on it. So here we go. Pushing the script to IBMi. And this is going to take quite a while. We've got multiple packages that are going to be installed. It will probably, I don't know. I'll put a timer on this so that I can give you a heads up. But for right now, I'm just going to stop the recording. And when this guy is done, I promise you I won't click through anything without turning the recording back on, so you can see every step of the way. But right now, we're just going to wait until this guy's installed. So I wanted to turn this on just so you can see it's where it's installing. Right now it's installing Python. It's going to, again, it downloaded a script and delivered all of that content. And then this window actually was hidden. That's why there was that long pause. Gone ahead, and that is still continuing. Actually finished up while we're waiting here. So we get the prompt that says, hey, it's completed. See the output window. Here's all the details about what got installed. Let's see if I can. Let's see. Okay, so let's take a look here. What I was going to do was see if I could scroll up this window. You could see that was Python at the end. There's a boatload of that. There's Perl. Let's see, what did they install? Let's take a quick look here. Looks like Perl, Python, Python 2, 2.7, and let's see, that's about, well, there's the Mono project, kind of went flying by there, and then a bunch of documentation. So we got Yum to install, so we can use Yum to install future packages that we need. But basically, at this point, all of that, all of your open source products that you're going to need to basically move on are all installed just with that simple click. So this couldn't be easier. I'm not sure that IBM could make it easier. I guess they could go ahead and uh, just install everything ahead of time, but then that takes the fun out of doing installation. So we are done. Um, Again, thanks for listening in. If you look at the packages, we got the package listing now. This is the more GUI install of a list of the install. And if we needed to, each one of these packages, we would have the opportunity to get more information, remove the package, to reinstall it. If you had a conflict and you wanted to do a newer package, then you could go ahead and remove it here, install a new package. And again, this really couldn't be much easier for getting started with open source. Now, there's going to be a lot more videos that I'm going to put together about using each one of these tools so that you can find out exactly how to leverage those open source resources that you now have on your IBMi. But I appreciate you listening in, and I hope you have fun with your open source projects.